our brand new Fiesta ST180 exhaust system. So we have made an ST180 exhaust system for a couple of years now, but we always knew that it didn't fit as well as it could do. So we kind of ran stock down. We had a big period where we didn't sell it because we just didn't have time or chance to kind of tweak it and get it how we wanted to get it. But we've now done that, and we've now got the complete system available again, which is kind of new and improved, and is now a perfect fit, or as perfect a fit as you can get with a 3-inch system on the ST. It's quite common for a lot of the aftermarket systems. The rear beam is a bit of a challenge on the ST, purely because there's like a bracket that sticks up off the beam. The beam does sit quite high into the body, but I do believe that you're not going to get a better fitment than this. We actually done the development on a car with airbags, so we were actually able to lower the car right down, which most people don't have the opportunity to do when they're doing exhaust development. So although there's some challenges in doing that, in kind of working on a car with airbags, it's actually a bit of an advantage, because say we were able to lower the car right down and check those beam clearances and get everything absolutely perfect. So the first thing I'll touch on is that it's a fully V-banded exhaust system. That's exactly what we did the first time around, and it's what we've gone for again. It's just it's kind of the ultimate way of joining exhaust sections together. There's no gaskets. You've got adjustment, rotational adjustment. It's motorsport grade. That's what they use on race cars, and there's a reason for that, because it's just ultimately reliable. You've only got one clamp, one nut holding the exhaust together, but they don't really go wrong. So, it's again a no-brainer to go with that. Fully mandrel-bent, as with all of our exhaust systems, to do that in-house. And one thing we're always looking for with the mandrel bending is to try and have the fewest amount of joins in the exhaust system as possible. So excluding the tailpipe, the only one join we've got is here. And again, this is critical for that over axle section. If we were to have these joins this close together, it's just not possible to mandrel bend it with the equipment that we've got. So we've got one join in there, which is it's a lot less joins than some aftermarket systems you'll see. So yeah, that's something we're always quite keen to do. Fewest possible joins, fewest possible areas for fatigue, failure, and inaccuracy in terms of actually fabricating it. So fully mandrel bent front section as well. 2-bolt flange, which will suit the stock downpipe or our aftermarket downpipe. It should fit other downpipes as well. Again, we did development on a car that already had our downpipe on it, so we can know it fits perfectly with that. And then fully reinforced hanger brackets. So again, the chance of fatigue and failure, very low. We touched on why we do this in the development video, so we'll put a link to that in the description. And yeah, I talk about that a little bit, and why it's important to kind of beef up all the hanger brackets where possible. We've also got the 2-bolt flange fully surfaced, just like all of the 2-bolt flanges or kind of flat face flanges that we do. We always surface them after welding, so that when you use a gasket, there's absolutely no chance of a leak. A lot of the times you'll see other manufacturers will weld the inside here, or sometimes they don't weld the inside at all. They just weld the outside, and you've still got the kind of descaled finish of a raw stainless steel flange. And that means that there's been a lot of heat input to that flange. What will happen is after you've welded it, the stainless steel will actually warp. So you're just never going to get a good seal. You can tighten those bolts down as tight as you like. You can fill it with sealer, but you're just never going to get a reliable seal. So that is really important, that surfacing. And then coming on to the rear section, again, we've got V-bands and mandrel bent section, fully reinforced hanger brackets, and we've got an 8-inch diameter silencer here, 16-inch long, which is a pretty big silencer. The reason we've gone for a big silencer this time is so that we can have no real need for a centre resonator on a track car. So this is still plenty loud enough for a road car, but it means that if it's a track car, track days, things like that, you're never going to have to worry about noise tests, failing noise tests. You're going to be well within the limitations of should be any UK track. As soon as we've got some official kind of numbers, we'll put that in the product description, but they're kind of hard to get because the equipment at track to track tends to vary quite a lot, as track people will know. You can fail at one track and pass at another. But yeah, the whole idea of using a much larger silencer is that you won't have those problems. This is also an offset silencer, so we've got mandrel-bent perforated tube inside there, which is a really nice way of doing it. Again, it allows us to keep the tube here much higher away from the rear beam, but still get that tip down into the cutout where you want it. We've got our unique twin exit tailpipe on this one. So on the first system we did, we only sold that with a single exit tailpipe. One of the things that a few people asked for was they did really want that twin exit, which is like the OE system. So we've done a nice 3-inch split joint here, which is totally free flowing. You don't have to worry about any kind of form of restriction. Again, it's something you do see on some of the twin exit systems. They can often be quite crude with how they split that down. It can end up being a bit of a restriction. Whether it's a restriction that actually makes a difference, you'd have to be running a lot of power to find that out. But again, over time, these cars, they do tend to, they keep increasing the power outputs of them. The older the cars get, the more they get developed. So it's better future-proof, and that is the whole idea behind that. It's kind of over-engineering things. And then we've got this kind of double-walled tip, which at the minute is the only option we've got on here. So you can have the single exit turn down or the double-walled twin tip.